All right. Hello, everybody. KV Chief Meteorologist Hunter Williams here. We have a Friday afternoon, or I guess now Friday evening, update on our forecast. We're tracking some pretty substantial changes to our weather pattern here, really starting this weekend, and then we continue that even more so heading into next week. Obviously, we've been dealing with this really cold Arctic air. We had snow and wintry precip earlier this week. Now our mornings go much milder. And rain chances are coming back, and it's going to be all rain. This is not a winter weather situation, but our first system comes in Saturday night into Sunday. Some showers, some damp weather over the weekend. And then for the middle and end of next week, maybe not just rainy, but perhaps stormy. Strong storms, maybe even a heavy rain and flood threat for our area. It's possible, so some crazy Texas weather swings are underway. All right, let's get into things here. Before we fully move on to the upcoming rain chances, I wanted to kind of look back, show you what happened this morning. This is the last time that our low temperature map is going to look like this for a while. It was widespread 20s, and the coldest pockets were below that in the teens. Taylor dropped down to 17 degrees this morning. 29 in town for Austin, but 20 out at the airport. Llano has just had some crazy cold numbers this week. 14 was the low temperature this morning. Remember, they were down to 12 degrees. I think that was 2 mornings ago. Fredericksburg dropped down to 18. The coldest pockets tonight will see a light freeze, but it's not going to be widespread, so it's not going to be a situation where everybody gets a hard freeze. All right, live look outside from our tower cam. Obviously, the sun is down now. But you can see the numbers for this afternoon. They warmed up pretty nicely. This is the closest we've been to average for an afternoon in like more than a week now. 61 was the high for Austin, Camp Mabry. The average for this time of the year is 63. Current numbers outside, 50 right now in Austin. So a little bit of a chill in the air if you have any plans to get out on this Friday evening. But again, this is a little less winter-like, a little less frigid than what we've had recently. 48 in Pflugerville. Round Rock right now is at 47. 46 in Blanco, Burnett's at 49, Fredericksburg down a little lower at 45, Luling right now checking in at 51 degrees. 24-hour temperature change for most. It is a warm up, in fact, for everybody except for LaGrange, which is 2 degrees cooler. Austin is 4 above, Georgetown 9, Burnett 5, Llano 7 degrees warmer than 24 hours ago. So here's my forecast tonight. Again, will some of you see a freeze tonight? Yes, but not everybody. I do have a freeze in the forecast for Bastrop and for Lockhart and San Marcos. But notice there's no teens and no 20s on this map. Even if you get a freeze tonight, it's just a light freeze. 34 in Austin. Even into southern sections of the hill country, cloud cover may move in just early enough to prevent these areas from getting a freeze. I do have a light freeze in the forecast for Llano again tonight, though. Closer look at the metro and the I-35 corridor. Again, I think most of the core metro, especially in Travis County, just above a freeze, although Pflugerville might drop down to 32. Taylor 32, Round Rock just above at 33. And then likewise, I think for most of Hays County, it's close, but many ending up just a few degrees above freezing. After a chilly start, we go through the day, and that's kind of deceptive about this forecast. We're saying, okay, we're trending warmer. Well, mornings are trending a lot warmer. The afternoons, while warmer than what we've had this week, they're still going to be on the cool side. You can see cloud cover increases through the day on Saturday, and that's going to kind of lock in the cool weather a little bit. Only 58 for the afternoon high, so that's a little cooler than what we had today. You know, as far as rain chances, there's a 20% as we get into the afternoon tomorrow. I think mostly, though, we're watching evening into the overnight where we go up to a 30% rain chance, and then, you know, Saturday night into Sunday morning, that's when this first kind of bigger system is going to be moving in. So over the weekend, Saturday night into Sunday, a weak cold front coming in. This does not have like Arctic air or anything crazy behind it. It will keep us pretty cool and damp, though, on Sunday. A 50% chance, mainly for just light showers and drizzle. And look at this. So 51 in the morning. Like, all right, finally, mornings, much warmer. Well, we don't warm up really at all. We only go up 4 degrees to 55 for the afternoon high on Sunday. Let's get into some of the high-res data. We'll map this out over the weekend. So here we are. We're starting at 7 p.m. on Saturday. We keep going into the later evening hours. Drizzle, rain showers developing. This is about 11 o'clock. Notice the wind shift. So here comes that little weak front as we go into Sunday morning. We've got this kind of overrunning pattern. So showers, pretty widespread, drizzle, mist, just damp weather. As we go through the day, you know, prior model runs were showing maybe a couple heavier downpours and storms. models have kind of backed off on that potential. So I think mainly this is just damp weather, light rain showers, drizzle. But even into the afternoon for some, there's going to be some dry time in the afternoon, I think on Sunday, but this is still looking cloudy and pretty damp with temperatures by the end of the afternoon just kind of hovering upper 40s to low 50s. So that is system number one. As we go beyond that into Monday and Tuesday, briefly, things trending a little bit drier. So Monday, I still have a 20% chance for some more showers, down to 10% on Tuesday. But then Wednesday, all right, now we're up to a 40%. And I think especially Wednesday night into Thursday and Friday, it is not often that I put a 70% rain chance on day 6 and day 7 of our forecast. But these are just really, really consistent, really strong signals in our models like, hey, like rain is coming. It's a week away. Could this stuff change? But as of now, my confidence is pretty high that this is a pretty big change to our weather pattern. So here's kind of the upper level forecast. What's going to be happening. Watch this. So you see we've got a little ripple in the upper level flow out here out west. Watch what develops. We call this a cutoff low. Big upper level storm. Low pressure develops. It gets cut off from the rest of the weather flow. And this is just kind of meandering. So as we go over the weekend into early next week, and we'll stop here at Wednesday, this big upper level storm is kind of centered out over the southwest. But as we get farther into the week, by Thursday, now the system, it starts to eject to the east, kind of swings down over northern Mexico, and then through the state of Texas. And this is kind of a classic weather pattern, you know, more often that we would see like in the spring. That would bring us, you know, a flood and severe threat. But hey, even here in the end of January into the first few days of February, I think this is a pattern that's going to bring us some rainy, stormy weather by the middle and end of next week. So into the extended models, again, a week away. I don't have high-res data for you, but we can look at our European model here. So here is 6 a.m. on Wednesday. As we go into the late day, could have a little boundary coming through, so rain chances ramping up. But then watch this. So here comes that upper level storm. As we go into Thursday, rain and storms for us. This is not going to be winter stuff for central Texas, but as you go out to West Texas and the Panhandle, maybe enough cold air for some winter weather issues there, especially into Oklahoma too. So like Texas Panhandle into Oklahoma, different story. But for us here in our KView area, this is Friday, widespread rain and storms. You see some yellows here. Again, maybe a strong storm risk. Impossible to know exactly how all the ingredients come together, 6 to 7 days out from this. But is it possible there could be a flood risk and maybe even some sort of a severe weather risk? I think so. Keep going. As we go into the evening on Friday, it looks like that system will move out. And I think generally the forecast looks drier as we get into next weekend. Look at the rainfall potential off of both of our models. What's crazy is our GFS American model. This is a downtrend from what it had earlier. It was showing like a widespread 3 to 5. Now it is showing, and look, I think some of this data is reasonable. 1 to 2 in the hill country, 3 to 5 along and east of I-35. European model has a pretty widespread, say 2 to 4 inches of rain. It may be some pockets above that. So what we have in the forecast right now, kind of a more conservative forecast, this is from the Weather Prediction Center, would be totals generally between 1 and 3 inches. That would be helpful. Remember, we are in extreme drought. In the Austin area, there is severe drought going back into the hill country. We've been focused on this winter stuff recently, but now that we're back to kind of regular scheduled programming here, we need rain. 1 to 3 inches. I think that'd be, hey, that's a good thing, especially if we can get some of that across the hill country. But if this trends higher and higher, a widespread 3 to 5 inches of rain for our area is enough to bring a flood risk. So again, that's the way things are trending. We'll have more details on this as we go over the weekend, then especially once we get into early next week. 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook, though. This is January 30th through February 3rd. That is above average precipitation. We just showed you the models, no surprise. During that same time frame, though, again, as far as like Arctic air coming in, I don't see that, at least not over the next 7 to 10 days. February, I'm sure at some point will get cold. I'm not saying we're done with winter, but 6 to 10 day temperature outlook is actually favoring above average temperatures for our KView area and for much of the Lone Star State. All right, tonight, mostly clear. It will be a light freeze for some. I do think, though, the immediate Austin metro stays just above at 34 degrees. Then as we go into tomorrow, cloud cover increasing through the day. I said mostly cloudy. I think especially along and east of I-35, though, it could just be kind of straight up overcast. 20% chance mainly for evening showers. Most of the day is dry, but it's pretty cool. High temperature of only 58. All right, here's my 7-day forecast. Again, things you can tell they're changing. Rain chances are coming back. As we go into Sunday, 50s like all day, temperatures is kind of hovering, a 50% chance for showers. maybe a rumble of thunder, but as of now, models have kind of backed off on that. As we go to Monday, 20%. High still in the 50s, but morning's way milder. Tuesday looks mainly just cloudy but dry, 65. And then as we go Wednesday, especially Wednesday night into Thursday, Friday, that I think is the time frame based on what we're seeing in the models right now, where the stronger storm system moves in and we're going to have heavy rain, storm, and even flooding potential. So 40% for Wednesday. And by the way, warmer 70, but then gradually we kind of pull in some cooler air as these rain chances and these several different rounds kind of move through. 70% rain and storms on Thursday, high of 66. Friday, high of 59. Still a 70% chance for rain and storms in the forecast. So as I mentioned earlier, like it is not every day that I toss a 70% rain chance on day 6 and day 7 of the forecast. But, you know, that's just kind of the idea of what we are seeing here in the models. Again, could this change? Absolutely it could, but I just want to give you an early heads up. We could be looking at a pretty wet and stormy weather pattern as we get into next week. So that is the update that we have for you. Again, just to kind of summarize everything, Arctic air, that is kind of a thing of the past here now. We have a chilly morning tomorrow, but many areas not even dropping down to a freeze. First system comes in Saturday night into Sunday. It's a weak cold front. We're going to have drizzle and rain showers, maybe a couple of heavy downpours east of I-35 on Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, a lot of cloud cover around, maybe some light rain showers at times, but generally a little bit drier. And then Wednesday night into Thursday and Friday of next week, that's when that big West Coast upper level low moves in. That brings rain, storms, several rounds of it. Maybe some of those could be strong to severe and maybe some flooding rains over parts of our KVUE area. So that is our update for now. We will leave you with that. Thank you for joining us on YouTube Live and KVUE Plus and all of our streaming platforms. Next up from us in terms of the forecast, KVUE News at 10, which is as always at 10 o'clock, and then meteorologist Jordan Daresberg will keep you updated through the weekend. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Have a good rest of your night. Enjoy your Friday evening and have a happy weekend.